Yo, it's the Life is Dope podcast. I'm your man, Graffiti.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Davey.
Yo, Dave, bruh.
Yo.
We got like a super special episode today.
Yo, phenomenal.
Crazy special.
Mad crazy.
Before we get into the guests, let me let y'all know we got a special guest host with us today.
Okay, who we got?
Bringing that young queen aspect to the show today for us. We got Honeycomb, chair of the Power Up Men's Summit. Hey, young visionary right here. Let's go ahead and make some noise for Honeycomb.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm well. Graffiti, how are you?
Oh, you know, I'm cooling. Thank you for the opportunity, first off. Straight up.
Dope.
It's very dope. It's very dope. We want to go ahead and let the people know what's going on right now.
So we're here at the Power Up Summit. We just finished the summit. We got our keynote speaker, David Banner, in the building. I'm sure everybody's pretty much familiar with Mr. David Banner.
No, we got to go and make some noise for David
Hey.
Banner,
Oh,
man. Y'all
yeah.
gonna sit there and just say
Yeah.
Came in here, rocked the mic.
Yeah.
Everybody was just in awe.
And-
Most people didn't have a lot to say, but
They gonna sneak me out the back door, put me back on the plane. Get him out of here.
he real.
That was awesome, and I enjoyed being here. I spoke here in a church about a year ago, and it was very eventful. We decided to never speak in the church again. But it's just amazing, and I want to say something to Denver that people may not know. Because of the amount of black people that we have here, sometimes we think that Denver may not have a powerful, conscious community, and I know that to not be true. This was literally my lecture in Denver was totally sold out. People were on the floor, literally sitting on the floor. And one thing that I told the crowd tonight that we must do is, I think when there's a deficit, that leaves people starved and deprived for something that they want, and that gives us an opportunity to keep a certain level of communion with them. And what I think we should do is literally start writing down numbers and email addresses, and when we getting ready to do something here, that we create a constituency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Because they're here and they definitely want it. I saw it last year. I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I thought it was, gonna be like a mid-level crowd. Like, people really, really showed up, and they spent money and they bought T-shirts. They did everything. And I think what's more important is that since we see that it can happen, the people who are here have to take that energy and keep it harnessed. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take an outsider. And I tell people that from activism standpoint. People always ask me, why are you not rushing to this city when somebody get killed? Why are you not rushing here? I said, because you have to give local people the opportunity to allow their leaders to lead. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when people come here and show you that, you know what I'm saying, that there is an opportunity and that people are listening, then that shows you what you should be able to do, or what we should be able to do in our local communities.
Definitely. Right. Definitely. We definitely appreciate you coming through the city, man.
Well, K-Tone is a friend. Me and K-Tone have been friends for a very, very long time.
K-Tone in the
back.
I've been knowing K-Tone over 10 years. And then Cat Daddy, Kamani, is my homeboy. I've been knowing him for over 20 years. We actually went to college together. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I'm in, the area, these one or two of these people are always with me or are always in the building. So it wasn't like I was coming here cold turkey. As a matter of fact, one of the main reasons why I did and I made sure that I wanted to be a part of this was K-Tone. K-Tone has never asked me for anything. And he was like, my cousin, she's putting together something. She's really passionate about it. He really came and pulled me to the side.
K-Tone on it.
And he was like... He hit me with the big bruh eyes.
Yep.
He was like, big bro. He put down the DJ because he big time DJ now. Right. He put down the core DJ face on me, and he was like,
know who the DJ is.
He was like, big bro, I really want you to do this for me. And I said, it really mean that much to you, little bro? And he was like, yeah. And the only reason why I'm telling you that is sometimes that we always hear negative things, about what people say. But, when he told me how passionate you were about this and how passionate you were about our men and about what's going on to our men, especially our men in all of these cities, man, it really pushed me to be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, one thing that I notice as black people, we quick to say, I got you. People ain't got you. Sometimes you got to put that to the test. So I try to be one of the ones that show that some black men will hold to their word when we do ask to be called. So he definitely spoke highly of you.
K-Tone's my heart, y'all. He always has my back. I appreciate him.
And just so y'all know, they're cousins. Because I know how us as black people try to
Everybody's
lift it.
cousin.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He's rode this journey with me this whole time. I talked to K-Tone. I said, K-Tone, we need him in the building. And he takes it from there, and he does it for me every single time. And I feel like that's the type of relationship men need with each other, is that I can call K-Tone at any given time. And K-Tone's going to say, all right, what you need? I got you. The guy sitting right here, we got Chip in the building, Run It Up Entertainment.
Let's go ahead and make some noise for Chip, too.
Definitely. K-Tone said, hey, I got my little cousin right here. She's putting this event together. He sponsored us, one of our largest sponsors, to just sponsor the event because he believed in it and because K-Tone just put a word in there. Not only that, but K-Tone does not, I hate to boost and brag, but I'm sorry, K-Tone is the truth. K-Tone shows
gas in that,
y'all should see
what
his
it means to be
over there blushing. How you
a
blushing?
community. K-Tone shows what it means to love. K-Tone shows what it means to have somebody's back.
Facts.
That's what this summit is about. That's what I believe in. That's the only reason why my heart is in it and very God-fearing, and I put that first. But that my heart is in that the men in the community, no matter if it's in Denver, no matter if it's in Seattle, no matter if it's in Utah, wherever we are.
Mississippi.
Gotta say Mississippi. The men have to come together. The men are our cream of our crop. That's where it is. And we have to set the tone. We have to move and shake together.
Right.
Not David Banner just by itself. Yes, you got to meditate. You got to put yourself together in a certain place that's going to create change because you're going to be the first one to do it. But the only way you're going to do it is if you're doing it together. It's not a Martin Luther King. It's not a Malcolm X. It's us.
Fellas, do y'all hear that? This is a black woman, a real queen, fighting for her black men.
Fighting. I literally have laid
like that
my
is
life
crazy.
down
A woman
for
fighting for her black queen,
men
her kings.
and women, not just men. This is
crazy.
just right now. This is a conversation that y'all need to have.
Right.
Ultimately, we all are going to have that conversation. We all going to be in the building. We all going to be together. It's just, I mean, and like he said, there's not a kumbaya moment. There's not.
Right.
Heaven is on earth. Heaven is what you create in your mind. Are we creating that? And that's more so what we have to realize, in that when we do that together, it just, y'all, I just truly believe I can't take another moment of watching my men die. Suicide, fellas. To the camera.
Please
to the camera.
speak on
Listen
that.
to this. Suicide is 80% and 90% higher in men than it is in women.
Wow.
Can we talk about that for a minute, fellas?
Let's please talk about
Can
that.
we talk about that? What do we think about Banner? Why do you think that number is so high in men than in women?
I think it's several reasons.
And can you give us a solution with it?
I necessarily don't think that I would have a solution for it. If I had a solution for it, then we probably wouldn't be in a position that we're in. But what I would say is, in a lot of cases, men are taught this certain level of bravado, or being able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and we really don't have a community to talk to. Whereas, let's say if a woman is going through something, she'll girl, and they cry on each other's shoulders, and they talk like, you know, what's the tone of the language on the show? That's all I know.
On this show? Oh, man, you say whatever you want.
That's all I need to know.
Keep it all the way
you know, the first thing to do would be like, man up, stop being pussy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Instead of, you know, and I got to say, Edwin Muhammad is one of my best friends in the whole entire world, and he's up here with me. Something I can say, I watched in our friendship evolve. Like, you know, when we was young, you used to be like, all right, dog, see you later, dog, yeah, bet. Like, now that we older and he has children, like, bro, I love you, man.
Right.
Bro, be safe out there.
Right.
That's how we end our conversations now. Because we know that, you know what I'm saying, if something is wrong, like if I call him, he one of the few people, I call him and be like, Doc, I'm fucked up in the head. Like I'm getting depressed. I can feel it coming back on. Like we didn't have, like as men, like we talk in the streets, ain't no weakness in front of nobody.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? So I think one of the reasons why it's so high is because we don't have those confidants. We don't really have true friends.
Yeah.
Like I have maybe now, and it's because I went and looked for my friends. I went and found my friends. You know, we don't have many friends that you can really call and tell what's really going on, or saying that I'm scared, my dude, or some things are happening, or I don't believe in God no more. Anything, you know. If we were to say something like that to our friends, first thing they say, oh, you need to go to church, or oh, you an atheist. No, bro. I'd had some of my friends come to me and say, man, I'm doubting, you know, whether God really exists. And we sit there and we have that conversation. If that means crying at the moment without nobody else seeing, whatever they may be able to take, you got to have that kind of friendship where you can open up. That's the reason why, like, I even give you an example. For me, one of the things that saved my life was therapy.
Yeah.
Black men, bro, they look down on therapy,
Scared,
man. Either they're scared or they think something, or you think it's weak or
feels
won't work.
wrong
Or
to feel
that's
crazy.
white folk shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't have that community that women have. We don't have the therapy that white folks have, and then most of us are against each other.
Right.
So it's like, who do you really go to really unload that? And then the other thing that's really crazy, man, is that I never forget this. I forgot his name, but it was the actor who used to be Jet Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Thomas.
Look up his name. Somebody look
Lee
up his
Thomas
name for me,
yeah.
so we can say his name. I think that's
Lee
important
Thompson, yeah.
for us not to
Thomas
blow
Young.
by.
Lee Thomas, yeah.
But yeah, make sure that so we can fact check that. But we all stayed in the same building in L.A. And I don't know why this hit me so hard, but as far as all the black actors, we looked at him as the person who had it going on. He been popping since he was a kid.
Right.
You know, from Disney on up to Jet Jackson, and then he had the new police, you know, the lawyer police show that he had out, and he killed himself, bro. And like when we saw him, you know, we thought he was all right.
Yeah.
You never really know what's going on in each other's life. And something that Snoop told me, I never forget that Snoop was one of the people who helped save my life. You know, when I was going through my first depression, man, Snoop rolled up 8 blunts, set me on the couch, and he smoked them 8 blunts and told me his life after death row. So we're not talking about Pac. We're not talking about, people forget that Snoop was this close from going to jail forever. We
Right.
forget about that murder case.
Right.
So he didn't even say nothing about that. He told me, like, from No Limit days on up. And what that did, and not that it made me feel better because there was somebody who had more problems, but for another man to open up, especially it was Snoop,
Right.
and for him to tell me, nephew, it's all right. Because at the time I had a $700,000 tax problem,
Right.
and they had garnished all my money. Like, bro, I don't know if y'all know how I feel to have 17 people on your staff and you got a Bentley outside and you go to the bank and you don't have no money.
Man.
The only thing that saved me, and I'm enough of a man to say this, is I had a woman that I was dating at the time who had enough money. And she lived in another country and she flew over here. She said literally, she told me, she said, I can't send you over $10,000 through the banking system or the feds will come. So she flew over enough money for me to take care of my staff. And I was just, most black men don't have, you know what I'm saying, someone that can help you on that level.
Right.
Like even those of us who are successful, you don't have nobody that can give you, front you $17,000 and not cut your toe off.
Man.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Black men that we can really, hey dog, I'm fucked up right now, bro. I promise you. And not only will they give it to you, but you man enough that they know that you gonna get it back to them. You feel what I'm saying? I made sure I got that woman back her money as soon as I got it. But like, we don't have those types of type of relationships in our community. And the one thing that I wanted to say about the Power Up Summit, and you know, sometimes I get caught into my emotions and I don't be able to say everything, is instead of looking for all of these different people, you got them right here in the room. Or at least the people who want to try to be those people for you later on in life. I'm going to tell you one more thing about Brother Muhammad. And he doesn't know how much this means to me. Like, I may have $17,000, $50,000, $800,000 problems. My homeboy will call me and be like, bruh, I just got my income tax check back. It may not be enough. It might not be enough to stop the IRS from coming. Well, bro, you might be able to pay that bill, you know, or something, dog.
A little something.
And he always tell me, like, bro, you better get it now, because I ain't going to have it for another week. So, but just to know, and I tell him this sometimes, I remember this, and he didn't know this until later. People think sometimes because you're successful, that shit is always good. I remember one time, bro, I paid my bills and paid all of my, and this is when I was shooting them, when I put all my money into a project. And, bro, like, my bills literally came down to within $100 of what it took for me to pay my own personal bills. And I didn't have food to eat.
It's real.
And I'm talking about, I'm the popping David Banner. He asked me, he said, bro, something wrong or something? He didn't even know. It's like, bro, man, here, take this $200. And I said no initially. And then that voice in my head was like, fuck that, you better.
You need that.
Bro, I said, he actually pulled back. You remember that Elwood? He pulled back. I was like, hey, hold up, dog. Hey, my dude, I really need that $200.
Yeah.
And what he didn't know, bro, I done had no food in my refrigerator, bro. I walked down to the grocery store, got me enough food. I said, well, shit, if they come get my shit, I at least have enough food to eat. And, like, bro, it's those little things that keep you from breaking sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think because I fight with depression,
right.
Major depressions. But the thing is we don't know clinically what depression is, black men, so we don't know how to identify it.
Exactly.
Right.
And most times what I found out with me, I was high, drunk, and then another thing that I found out about depression, my anger was also part of my depression. So I was scared of a lot of things. So I would get into it with people when a lot of times it probably wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
And I fight just so I wouldn't feel weak. It was like a defense mechanism. But the fact that we don't know what those plugs are, now that I'm trained, I know when I start feeling depressed. So what I do, and I'm not a doctor, so make sure if you're feeling depressed, you go to a therapist or seek help. You know, don't look at me. But what I started doing is I guard my feelings and my spirit the same way I would guard a child.
Wow.
So, like, I don't, negative people, I keep them,
There you go.
unless you really close to me, I don't want to hear your fucking stories
Right.
until I can get, you know, my life straight.
Yeah.
I keep negative people away from me, dream killers. And when I start feeling a certain way, and people gonna trip on this, unless it's Pac, I really like 21 Savage and the Migos.
21.
So
There we go,
I
see?
listen to that. Dead People, I love Dead People, bro. That's like my favorite song right now. But like for the most
Dead
part,
People.
for the most part, I don't listen to a lot of negative music.
Yeah.
The only thing that I do with a whole bunch of killing and violence is video games. I haven't quite got over that shit.
Yeah.
That's just like my little outlet. But like everything that I do, I try to let it be something that inspires me. You know, even with my friend Edward, he inspires me by the way that he studies. Like, that man studies like in a human encyclopedia. A lot of the stuff that I know, a lot of the stuff comes from him, dog. You know what I'm saying? It real life does. And he inspires me in that way anytime that I get off. You know what I'm saying? I get off point or I feel like I'm falling back. I keep people around me that keep, you know, like even today when we walked out, he's like, brother, this is my humble opinion. But let people finish their questions. Like, just allow them to get their questions out. Because sometimes, even though you mean good, sometimes people don't take it that way. He said, I know you mean the best, and you got to keep those people around. And I think, if you think about it as men, let's be honest with each other. Our biggest problem is that we really think we be the only one going through shit.
You know, and just to chime in, because I was going to ask you that. I think now that, you know, I hit 30, I'm a little bit more mature. Just personally, I feel like younger, it was kind of hard for me to bring that conversation up with my friends. Now we've been around each other so long, it's just like, man, I'm kind of going through something right now. He's like, shit, man, me too. But before, it's like, man, I'm not about to tell these dudes that I'm going through this right now. That's soft. Like, I'll just be like, man, let's go have a drink real quick. And then you get home and you be like, man, I should have got that off my chest. Now it's a little bit easier. But what do you think of some ways to kind of help that out? I think it's a maturity thing for one. But for the younger cats to be like, it's cool to open up to your boys without feeling like a punk, pretty much. Because that's really what it boils down to, man.
Yeah. You have to find that one person, man. It's also strange too, man. Like your girl used to be that, like back in the day.
Yeah.
And relationships ain't the way that they used to be. Like people don't really trust each other, men or women. Like
even with that, there's certain things that this ain't something I'm gonna bring to my girl. I gotta talk to another brother because another brother gonna understand this a little bit better.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is somebody though.
Yeah.
Like you can't go to your girl about everything. Like you can't go to your home. Like, but for the most part, you have people that you can offload that stuff to. But this is one suggestion that I give. We all look for those people, but are we ever those people for them?
That's real.
That's a real statement.
That's what I had to be for him. I realized that I was just dumping shit on him, and then I wasn't a good friend.
Wow.
So like I called my homeboy. Now, how you doing, bro? You sure you all right? I'm always looking at him. He get tired of that shit sometimes. I be like, bro, you all right? You're like, damn, is something wrong with me? I got whack juice on me or some shit. What's going on? But I found out, like, and I used to use my success as an excuse. Like, man, I'm busy. Yeah. Man, you ain't never too busy for shit that means the world to you.
That's true.
So just make sure that you also get that ear that you want somebody to have for you. You know, that you're able to sit down and listen and love that. And I learned that through my friends, bro. I was a loner because I said it and sort of took that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, I wasn't alone. I just wasn't investing and giving back time to my friends. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as I started doing that, man, like, I think I have some of the best. I got like 5 dudes, man. Yeah. And I know they coming. I tell people that all the time. The only difference between the police and the gang is the fact that when police call for backup, they know somebody coming. Yeah. You call your homeboys, you don't necessarily know that they're going to show up.
That's real. That's real.
I know my homeboys coming.
That's real.
I know for a fact now. I got one of my homeboys. He may throw a book or something, but he ain't gonna throw no bullet. But you know, he know what I'm talking about. But he coming. It's funny. He gonna throw a book at your ass or something. Oh, but he coming. At the end of the day, whether he coming with a lawyer or he shooting, he coming. He gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that we don't have in our community. The thing that you said about K-Tone, a lot of people don't have that. Right. Yeah. And you know, that's the one thing that I say about our women real quick. I just and then we'll get back to the depression thing. Like, our women don't feel protected. You know, that's one of the reasons why, and I gotta say my new album, The God Box, that I'm proud of. And I ain't even try to do it. It was no derogatory language towards our women on that album. Not one line. Not one fucking line. And what I realized, I didn't have to try to do it if I was living it.
I know that's right.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have to be something I wrote down and say, okay, this album is going to be pop. Like, no, I don't think the same way anymore. So I don't have to worry about no bull. Like, if you ask Malcolm a question and then you ask your homeboy a question, you can ask them the same question. You're going to get a different answer based on where a person is. Right. You know, it shocked me because a man said, if you look at every culture, a culture is defined by how they treat their women. So if our culture has fallen to the fallen,
that was heavy.
You know what I'm saying? But look at how people protect their women. That's how you can see how people really feel about their culture. And the thing is, I stopped criticizing other rappers. Yeah. I have to do it. Fuck them. I don't know what they know. A lot of these kids really don't know. And that's one thing that I hate about people when it comes to rap. Yeah. Like, the problem is so much bigger than rappers. The problem with the world is old white men. Yeah. But most people are scared to say that. It ain't got nothing to do with rap. Yeah. These children be 18, 9. We forget. You know, I'll never forget when Chris Brown, the stuff happened with Chris Brown and Rihanna, they forget how old they were. They were little bitty children at the time. Right. And they went at this man like he was 40, 50 years old. He wasn't even 21 at the time.
And he came from a background, which is another thing. He came from a background of a father.
Yeah, and I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that. But we implode. That's what it is. We implode on our own people instead of calling them, asking them what happened. Like, I'm going to tell y'all this, man. Like, the situation with Usher, however that goes down, bro, right or wrong. I'm not saying whether it was right or wrong. I just text him, dog, if you need me, I'm here. Right. It ain't got nothing to do with whether he's right or wrong, how he did it, but I knew the whole world was coming at him, bro.
That simple gesture
just
right there.
One person say, And me and him ain't even tight like that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dog, if you need me, I'm here. Good or bad. Like, we just have to at some point, you know, because think about white folks. For the most part, when white folks wrong, good or bad, they going to protect white folks. Think about white people who have killed innocent black people on camera.
Yeah.
If you go look at their GoFundMe pages, most of them turn into millionaires.
Yeah.
They
Bad
protect
too.
their folks.
Yeah.
The first thing we do, we want to make a meme or a joke about somebody's fucking pain. Or they may be sick. Like I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to say this man's name. But there's somebody that is a singer. There's somebody that's a singer who was raped as a child. I know he was raped as a child. And the things that he is doing is a direct reflection of why he was treated as a child. That man needs to be treated and not talked about. But don't nobody really care about the real problems. We want to get eyes and we want to get clicks and we want to get notoriety for talking about other people instead of asking what the fuck is wrong.
Talk to you instead of talking.
Yeah.
Right.
Like what's really going on? Because what ends up happening, what we don't learn, is these are teachable moments. I had something that happened in Philly to me recently, like where a dude did something wrong to me and I was going to snap. And then I realized, I was like, dude, this is a teachable moment. If I step back and get out of my ego and realize, like, dude just really didn't know no better.
Yeah.
Like, and of course my ego, like I said, what my default is, and you know, my man and my ego, I want to snap and I'm a bigger dude, you know what I'm saying? But I realized, and that ended up, he was bringing me, you know, he was one of the people that brought me to a sold out show. And one thing that people got to know about Philly is one of the hardest places to please. And the fact that those people were here to love on me, there's no way I was going to ruin that.
Yeah.
Because the people didn't have nothing to do with the way that he was treating me that moment. And then I thought about it, and I told him, like, bro, I apologized. Even though I didn't think that I was wrong, I knew that that was an opportunity for me to be bigger.
Yeah.
He had got a sold out show. I had an opportunity to come to Philly, and I loved on those people. And it was one of the greatest experiences that I had. But my ego could have took me out of that shit.
That ego.
So we gotta learn to love on each other and be here for each other and talk to each other, man.
So what was it that created this? That created the change that made you say, you know, I don't want to continue to live this way. I don't want to keep rapping this way. What made that switch for you?
I was dying. I was depressed. I was high. I was drunk. I was 21 points from diabetes. Fucking had sleep apnea. I had severe insomnia. There was a month that I think I only slept 42 hours.
Wow.
And I tell people this all the time. Money not gonna change your inner demons. Now I would rather be rich and going through depression than to be broke. Because I wouldn't be able to afford no fucking therapy and no fucking thing else. So don't get it fucked
Can we
up.
talk about that, though?
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
That is the real right there.
Yeah.
Because when you're broke going through that and you don't have money for that, where's the community resources? Do we know where the resources are?
Right.
Do we know what to get? Do we know what we have? Does the insurance cover it? If it doesn't, then we're just stuck.
And then not just that, but don't nobody want to fuck with you when you don't have
Nobody
nothing to
wants to
offer.
mess with
And let me tell you what also makes it bad. A lot of people look at these rappers when they don't fuck with the community, but what they don't understand, when they was broke and lonely, the community didn't fuck with
They
them.
didn't.
Real.
They didn't give a damn about
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I give you an example
They
of
give
that.
a damn about
Young
them.
Buck. People don't know Young Buck dropped out of school to sign a record deal, and nobody really fucked with him like they were supposed to. 50 was probably one of the few people in history that really paid him some attention.
Yeah.
Right.
So like once he got on, like why should he? And people think because you have money that you understand. No, you just got a lot of fucking money. That don't change who you are.
Right.
So what happens is a lot of times, bro, when you look at a lot of these people who are successful, they're giving you back what you gave them. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people, for a fact, they won't admit this. I know a couple rappers that I think they were nerds growing up, and I think that they didn't get too much attention from cool dudes. And once they got on, they making the cool dudes suffer now.
Yeah.
Like, dude, y'all didn't fuck with me. Y'all bullied me.
That's true.
Like, no, like
That's real shit.
Now that
Really, that's a lot
I've
of
gone to
That's
therapy
real.
and I meditate, I see shit different than how I used to.
That's real.
I'd be like, yo, I see that, and I may not be right. These are only my feelings, but there's some things that I mean, their actions sort of fall in line by some of the stuff that they do. But what I realize, if you don't get close to these people, like some people ask me, man, if you conscious, why you still doing records with these people? Bro, I gotta have access to these people to even talk to them.
Exactly. Right.
If I talk down on their music and call their music this or that, why should they fuck with me? These kids just want, bro, and I'm telling you, I'm an example of it. These children come to my lectures, bro, they never did when I had like 1 million sold.
Yeah.
But these kids, bro, a lot of these kids don't have fathers.
Yeah.
I found this out, and this really, man, tripped me the fuck out. Me and Charlemagne was talking about this. I couldn't understand how all these kids knew me. Cause like I hadn't had a conventional record out in 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck these kids know me? And what Charlemagne told me is a lot of these kids don't have fathers, so they go to the Breakfast Club, they go to Sway, they look for interviews for people that they think can help them with manhood. Because they can't go to another man and say, I don't know how to put a rubber on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or I'm burnt, I'm scared to go to the doctor by myself. What the fuck do I do? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of these kids, I didn't know that. And to a certain degree, it put a certain level of pressure on me. Because I just be speaking how I feel. Like, this fuck how I feel, fuck it. That's how I go. But, like, when you realize how many children who don't have fathers, who are looking to whoever they can to get fatherhood for. Like, a lot of times, that's what they get from gang members. A lot of times, that's what they get from dope dealers. Somebody that has some level of power, or somebody who shows some type of form of manhood. It may not be the right type, but like you say, these people don't have the resources, nor do they have somebody that they can go to. So for people, think about it, man, and that's what we're supposed to be. We talked about that, about the African village. A lot of us are fathers to people and don't even fucking know it. Man, this dude told me something scared me, bruh. And this dude is a professional boxer. He said, David Banner, I look to you like you my big brother or my father. He was like, bro, people tell me like they look up to Malcolm X. He said, but I don't know Malcolm X. Malcolm X didn't live during my time, but I know your ass. And I was like, I can't even take a drink in public no more.
You think, speaking about how people look up to you, want you at a certain success, because I'm really, really dealing with those issues right now. It's like, do you think that led to your depression? To the fact that so many people looked up to you and depend on you, to now it went from David Banner on the streets to now David Banner with hella responsibilities.
Brother, what's funny is I did a whole movie about that. I did a movie called Walking with Gods. And that movie was that whole concept. Imagine finding out that you're not a nigga, that you a God. And the responsibility that come along with that. Damn, I can't call myself nigga now. Oh, my body is actually the church, not that building. So now I gotta watch what I eat. Oh, I can't be out here wilding because kids is watching every fucking move that I make.
Right.
Let me tell you what was harder for me, though, coming from the streets. The hardest thing for me was going from being the hunter to being the hunted. From being the person who, nigga, I'll take your shit. Nigga, I'll just straight up take your shit. Like, I'll slap you in your fucking face.
Right.
Like, I wasn't that type of dude, but I had the physical presence and the guns to do that. Like, come on, my dude, are you serious?
Right.
You feel me? Man, we love Dave Banner. He all positive and shit, but
We catch him wicked.
yeah.
Right.
What you mean?
The one thing that people knew about me that saved me a little bit was people always knew I had guns. And I'm not as small as most rappers. So most people would run up and be like, oh, we're Dave Banner, big motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And plus, I always show respect to people in their communities. Because one thing I would always tell people, if you come to Mississippi, I don't care who you are, you can get touched.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. We gotta, like, you can't come to my city and feel like you safe. You just can't do that.
Right.
You know, and if you do get away, it was by choice. I let you go, not because you slick or you powerful. And I know that in every city that I go to. Anywhere you go to, bro, somebody can touch you.
Right.
So I would literally tell folks in the hood, man, thank you for allowing me to be here.
Right.
And they're like, what you mean? I never forget this, y'all. This is a real fucking story. I was in LA in the club, right? Chilling. And I guess being from the South, I've always like been good with feeling. My friends will tell you, I'm the dude that if I tell y'all it's time to go, everybody would leave.
Yeah.
Because just about every time I said that, somebody would die, like in the next 15, 20 minutes. So I've always been good with feeling vibrations because I've been alone most of my life. Mm-hmm. So I remember being in LA one time, I was chilling. Somebody walked up behind me. I never looked them in his face. Because once you look them in their face and they know that you know them, oh, that's another responsibility.
Right.
So I didn't even turn around and look at him. He said, David, we see you. I don't even know who the fuck we is or who we was. He said, we see you, but I want you to know that you good. We appreciate the way that you treat our people. I never turned around. I waited for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I left. I got the fuck out of that shit. I fucked that shit, dog. I'm up. But it was two things about that, though.
Yeah.
It was two things. I know people who, as soon as they step off the plane, they get their pockets handled.
Yeah.
You know, and me being from Mississippi and I watched how people used to treat us when they come to Mississippi. They used to treat us like we was nasty. Motherfuckers wouldn't come out the VIP. They wouldn't sign autographs. They wouldn't play with the children. You know, if y'all notice when I speak, I always go around and touch people.
Right.
I do that on purpose. This is theory. When I talk to you,
Yeah.
but when I fucking touch you,
It's a totally different thing.
that's something different, bro. If we really, man, that's this, man, I wish I can remember. What was the name of, you was in St. Louis with me, wasn't you? What was the name of that community program that we went to? We gonna think about it. We gonna get it. Did we ever get the actor's name either? So we can say his name that committed suicide?
Oh yeah, there is no service.
Okay, but what I was gonna say was, there's this community group in St. Louis. Man, I believe everybody should, like, what they doing is they're going to people's houses, knocking on the door. What do you need?
Gotta do.
What do you
You
need?
gotta do.
Okay, these are the programs that we have at our center. You need help? Bring your kids down there. We'll take care of them. And in return, I need you to put this sign in your front yard. And they got these signs all over. I'm talking about the hood.
Yeah.
That we must stop killing each other. And everywhere they go. And then they have this community, because they have a lot of boarded up houses in the hood. They got this community artist that whenever he paints on the houses, they don't sell dope in those houses. They don't put graffiti on the houses. They know he's a part of that community, and as soon as he, like, what he'll do is all of the boarded up houses where the boards are, he'll put like Malcolm and Martin and Tupac on those houses and actually make the houses look beautiful. Right. And bro, they did a community, like they doing simple things like cutting down the trees. You know, a lot of times in the hood, the city stopped taking care of the communities, so they're literally doing it themselves, but they going into the hood. And I think what it is the dude that runs, he's an ex-Navy SEAL. So, except he's a conscious Navy SEAL. He ain't one of the ones that was brainwashed by the American flag stuff. Like, literally, he ain't no punk. So you ain't gonna run up on him. He got the guns. However you want it, he can give it to you. Yeah. But I'm here to help.
Right.
But they in the community. It's not like a lot of times we want people from the community to come out to wherever we are. It is our responsibility to go to them. And that was one of the things that I maybe I didn't articulate it as well today, that I was trying to tell the brother, is like, I don't think the solution is in rich people. Because rich people became rich from being exactly the way that they are. It's sort of hard for you to convince them when you don't have, that's something like asking a snake to let a frog out of his mouth.
Right.
Why would I do that? I'm already eating. What you talking about is theory. I'm all right over here up under these white folk. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I think it starts with the community.
It is community.
And I think also once the community, like, imagine this about Kaepernick. I've never said this in public, but imagine if we identified the people who we feel like are doing our community a disservice.
Yeah.
And we didn't do nothing violent to them, but we made it known that we don't fuck with them. We straight up as a community don't fuck with you.
Right.
We turn our back on you, just like that. And the same way that white folks turn their nose up at Kaepernick, we turn up our nose at those of you all who don't support him.
Thank you.
We're going to turn our nose up at you. Now, you can continue doing whatever you want to.
Right.
But there are repercussions both ways. Because white people are that way about, the white people are that way about their people.
Definitely.
Why can't we be that way about ours?
Thank you, David. Thank you.
You know, this is my personal opinion. And Brother Edward, we're going to have to talk about that with me and you. And I just got to be honest with you. Usually before I say something in public, I run it through my filters and run it through the people. Because sometimes I just be out there bad. You know what I'm saying?
I got to ask you, though, with that being said, with the community, and just kind of speaking on K-Tone, a lot of people in the community out here, a lot of people have it in their heart. They really want to do something. You know, even with us with this show, we have a lot of guests on. We get a lot of knowledge and positivity, and I get feedback from people like, man, like, you know, acting like positivity is corny. You know what I mean? And we'll try to put together a community event or something. Maybe be about 4 or 5 of the expected individuals in there. And everybody else is at a concert or something. Nothing wrong with that. But it's like, man, I can't figure out how to translate this energy into that energy. I want them crowds that's going to be out there rocking to that negativity to come get some of this knowledge, because once they get it, they love it. But it's just drawing them in. It's like, man, it's like pulling teeth. We can't get it going.
Well, one thing is that you got to do better planning. You know, you can't expect people to come and Drake in town.
Yeah.
That's your fault. That's poor planning.
Right.
So you got to almost make it easy for folks. Like, the thing that a lot of conscious people think is just because it's conscious, people are supposed to do it.
Right.
Like, I honestly think most conscious rap sucks.
I agree.
I do. It's just not jamming. You feel what I'm saying? My thing that I tell people is I make a jamming song first. Right. Like, if you listen to my song, Pump Your Black Fist, people really love that record.
It might be the hardest trap song.
But it got a trap swing to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it. Like, I saw Tip this morning talking about trap music. You know, he coined the phrase as far as I knew. And I had the single on that album. So if that's the case, I'm one of the first trap producers.
Right.
Technically, you know,
there you go.
People don't think about it, but that's part of my culture. So there's nothing wrong. Like, sort of like I tell a lot of Christian people, like a Christian rapper, Christian artist asked me, do I make Christian music? And I was like, what's that? She was like, Christian music. I was like, what's that? Mary shit is jamming.
Yeah.
I know Warren. He makes regular beats for Mary, and as a matter of fact, people don't know this. Mary, they write a lot of their gospel songs to Eminem music, and then put it on their beats. Like, you transform music by what you say. Like, you guide the music. You know what I'm saying? People think, oh, because it got 808s, it's the devil. That's a lie. That's like our grandparents used to say, you hear a roaring guitar, that must be devil.
Right.
Now, your ass is the devil. You the evil one. The shit you say on top of it. But my point was this. What was the question you asked?
So I was just saying.
How to make positivity cool.
Oh, yeah, I got it. So what I was saying was this. I totally the fuck forgot. What I was saying was, though, is that you have to be strategic. You understand the state that your people are in. So, one, that's the reason why did you notice, like, when I spoke? It's sort of like a rap show. It's like comedy. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking around, people laughing. I saw people laughing today who didn't even want to laugh. Dude was up there like, that motherfucker funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's sort of how you got to look at it. It got to be fashionable. The flyers got to be fly. You got to have good music. Maybe let a few women in for free. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because wherever women go, men coming. You know, I ain't lie to you. A lot of people tell me that. Dang, man, that's the reason why I come to your lectures. The girls think you cute. So what?
They at the lecture.
So what? You would be surprised. And it made me, I didn't tell you this, Kamani. A couple girls had hit our email, and Jasmine showed me some of the emails. A lot of girls say, you're going to be in the church. We ain't gonna wear no panties and we gonna be on the front row.
At the church, though.
Yeah, but let me tell you what. I know that people come for that reason, but they're gonna leave there with something.
Exactly.
So that's how you have to market to our people. You gotta get them there. Or bring somebody that's popping there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter. The problem with positive people is, think about evil. Evil will do anything. Evil will go to church with you. Evil will marry you. Evil will go to school. Whatever it takes in order for you to get what they need you to do, they gonna do it.
Right.
I'm gonna give you the first hit for free. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna make you feel like I love you so I can pimp you. Whatever it takes. Why don't we have that aggression when it comes to doing positive stuff?
That's true.
So that's how you gotta market it, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the reason why I have an opportunity to be a little bit more outwardly conscious than most people can be is because I was so fucked up in the beginning.
Right. People appreciate that really.
I go back and listen to some of my records. I mean, because he's always, for the most part, been who he is since I've known him. Maybe before me was a whole lot different. Shout out to KC. Running through, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say something about the museum. Okay, y'all, that's the first time he spoke. But
he said,
he needs to speak more often.
But the point is that the point is this: is that we just have to market the same way and understand that, you know, our people don't know what we know. Right. And we got to come at them like we have to come. That's one of the reasons why I don't work out, because, you know what I'm saying, I like working out. I work out because I know women like a man that's fit.
Straight up.
So if that's what it's going to take for them to come listen to me speak, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever your motivation is, but you're going to get what we have to offer when we come there. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to be protected. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So it's just being fly. If you look at our God boxes, bro, they fly. Yeah. The shirts and the stuff that we wear is fly.
Even to the music, like you said, is jamming at the end of the day. Like, I listen to, like I said, that Pump the Black Fist might be the hardest trap. And then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, I'm taking something from this. Even like with Cleopatra Jones.
I was just about to say that. We're on the same level.
Yeah. It's like, yo, this is the one for y'all. And he ain't said not one negative thing about any woman.
Because conscious women want to fuck too.
Yeah, straight up.
See, we get off into, we get so holier than thou that we understand that we're still human beings. But there is a way that you approach a woman. Back in the day, like, we don't slow dance no more. We don't even appease to a woman's intellect anymore. Yeah. You used to have to really, and when I say game, I don't mean be false or lie, right. But you had to break through that level of defense. She had to know that you were a man that was worthy of her time and especially her body. Right. So for that, when I made Cleopatra Jones, because I know so many conscious women, so many women who work, you know, at Fortune 500 companies that love trap music so much, but it's just so disrespectful. Right. So it doesn't have any redeeming qualities, so they have to listen to it, you know. And then the people who are conscious are too conscious. Way too. So you're not appeasing to, you know, because we all grown. Yeah. That's something. One thing that I had to stop a concert one time, because I went from my song Malcolm X that I did on the mixtape. And I went, that's very scary, sir. That's very scary.
Shout out to our cameraman, Kenzie, on the floor.
That's very scary, sir. I just need you to know that was scary, bro.
What you doing, man?
And I'm from the hood, brother. That was really scary, bro. I didn't know whether that was a muskrat or something was coming to bite me, a raccoon, or what the fuck. But let me finish this, and then we're going to start wrapping up. Yeah, bro. I just had to let you know, bro. I couldn't hold that shit. And then he looked up and smiled at me. I'm like, what the fuck? But honestly, though, bro, like, I made that song, man, because, you know, I think sometimes, this is what I say. I'll just cut it short. Unconscious people party too much. Conscious people don't party enough. That's right. Like, dog, that's one thing I was telling Killer Mike. That's one thing I was telling Raheem Devon. Those people that we didn't start getting together, bro, we got to start kicking it. I was like, because when I was doing wrong, we would get together and smoke. We would get together, go to the strip club. We would do it. Yeah. Like, even to this day, man, I'm going to be real with you, man. When something happened in the community, I don't go to them conscious rappers, bro. It be Tip. It be Jeezy. It be the cats that come from the hood that help. Yeah. And it don't be the conscious rapper, with the exception of maybe like Talib Kweli. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody like Dave Chappelle or somebody like that. But past that, bro, it be the people that folks turn their nose up at. So, like, dude, we got to learn how to party with each other. We got to learn how, when the people do come, that they still have fun. They still laugh. You know what I'm saying? And then, when we do go off into some ratchet shit, know that don't take it so fucking serious.
Right.
You know, so I shouldn't have to do like Prince and Andre 3000 do, like, well, I can't perform like a pimp no more ever.
Yeah.
You should be able to know when I say the word bitch, I'm not talking about you. Like, that's where I was, understanding I'm in a different place, but we're still going to celebrate that moment because that moment is why Like a Pimp and Play gave me the money to be able to read, to be able to contemplate, damn, maybe I'm fucked up. That paid for that fucking therapist.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? So we just have to have a certain level of balance as long.
And respect.
Right, I was just about to say
Respect.
that. As long as you don't compromise yourself.
Right. So,
Of course, you want to meet people where they are, but you don't bring yourself down, bro.
Right.
Don't put yourself back into the situation that you were in.
right.
You know,
And
good one.
Yeah, you
Good
have
one.
to, because you don't have to be on the same page. I personally am not a trap queen.
Mm.
I'm not. I like what I like, and I respect what you like. I
Mm-hmm.
respect what you like, and I keep it moving. And I promise we can go to the club and hang out all the time. But I'm gonna sit over here and I'm literally gonna sit there and listen to gospel as much as I want to.
Right.
And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I don't really give a damn.
Right.
But I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna put you in any sort of place. That's just what you like. That's what you get up on.
each
But
his
sometimes what you listen to, you do have to kind of turn around and self-reflect.
Right.
Because sometimes what you're listening to, you are exhibiting that. You are showing that this is the life that I want to live, or this is just who I am. And sometimes that does affect, I think, how we treat each other. I think that does make a difference on how I want to treat a kid, how I feel like my kids should look, what my daughter should look like, what my son should look like. Is this what we're putting into their image? And what are we creating for them? What are we doing for them that's going to change that, that's going to make a difference? And I don't always think that that music is doing that for our children. I feel like the conversation that we're having is about us. It is. It's good. Dave is awesome. K-Tone's awesome. You're awesome. Everybody's awesome. But dude,
These
kids is the ones that's gonna make the difference. These kids is the ones that's gonna come up and create the atmosphere of black people. These kids are gonna be the ones that's gonna set that tone and take away all those stigmas that have been given to us. If we are conscious enough to know that it's in the kid. If you see a kid fall, pick them up. Don't walk past the kid and say, "That's not my kid."
Right.
That's not it, guys. Stop doing that. Pick that kid up off the ground and show the kids that this is the way we live.
That's real.
Instead of saying, "That's not my kid, I don't have the responsibility to that child," we say, pick the kid up, we're going to take the kid, and we're going to make a difference with that kid. And then ultimately, the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to respect each other that way.
But don't ever forget, in some cases, the reason why people walk past that child is because they never had anybody to pick them up.
They don't know.
right.
Yeah,
They
some
don't
of them
Don't
just
know what you don't
some
know.
of them
Tupac
just
said
don't
it
know.
best. That's what our thing was on.
Yeah.
Keep your head up, right? Tupac said it best. They have no idea. Daddy's alone and left them by they lonesome. They don't know. Or the race of babies that's gonna hate the ladies because of the way their moms did. I mean, a lot of the things that's happening is only because of what they know. But it's time for us to wake them up.
Because I will tell you that one of the things that has been one of the most gratifying things that have happened to me in my community, a lot of times these kids are just waiting to see if you fake.
Yes.
Like,
what it
you know,
is.
I used to have flashes of
They
consciousness. So people be like, oh, he faking. He gonna go right back to the same shit. Just give him an album. We gonna let him suffer a little bit.
Right.
And once they see me being consistent, you'll be surprised the amount of rappers that came to me and were like, Banner, I want to know how to do better, big bro. But like, I just don't. I literally never had nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I never had another example. You feel what I'm saying? And one other comment that I want to make, and then we're gonna have to cut. I'm gonna have to cut.
We're
out.
gonna have to cut it out. Too.
Is this. Be very careful of this. I believe that if all rap was positive, then I'll go back to gangster rap. I believe that our children needs balance. The only reason why I do what I do is because there's literally no one out there doing it. There was a time in rap when rap was too positive, and then those positive people were scared to say fuck the police. We needed NWA. We just didn't need 1,756,000 of them.
Yeah.
There is a balance.
Everything is a balance. I am starting to believe in my life, this is only in my life, is that there is a very gray area between good and bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people would have looked at Malcolm as a savior. Some people would have looked at Malcolm as a demon. Depends on what side you were on. I believe what happens and what music was supposed to be is an explanation, because people criticize what these children are saying, but nobody wants to go and change it.
Exactly.
I said that in Congress. I said, if you want us to rap about roses, come to our community and plant some. You know, now most of them, I will say, they just copying and pasting what somebody else is doing. But at the end of the day, we have to ask the question, do these situations exist? Everybody wants people to stop rapping about it. And the reason why white people want us to stop rapping about it is so they can sweep us up and leave us over in our black communities and act like we don't exist at all. We need to, even the fact that our men are being disrespectful, at least we know that is a problem, so we know what we need to handle first. Even my ex-girlfriend used to tell me, I can't argue with you because you always win. I said, baby, because I never talk about something that I haven't studied first, in most cases. You know, that one thing that I just said, I was like, damn, I should have read it through that one first so we could go do some research. But I appreciate y'all for coming and allowing me to love on y'all people, man, and it meant a lot to me, man, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
By the way, is Lee Thomas Young.
Lee Thomas Young.
Thank you.
That was the young man that committed suicide, Lee Thomas Young. And one thing that I ask of you all, just all of us, instead of saying the man, or instead of saying white people, we're gonna have to start identifying who these people are. I really believe that's a solution to the problem. What company are we talking about? What companies invested into private prisons? We need to say who these people are so we know who we need to stop supporting. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about victims who have been slain, we need to say their names, because when we don't say their names, we take the pain away from it. You know, that's one thing I'm scared of. So many black deaths now. It's almost like shit. This fucking shit happen every week.
Trendy type.
Like we have to keep the name in.
Yeah.
That's why when I say, you know, when we talk about Miss Bland, we have to say her name.
We do.
That's why sometimes I act like I don't know who these people are, so you can say it. Do you know it? Are you waiting for me to say it? You say it. So I appreciate it. I thank y'all. My name is Dave Banner. Make sure y'all support the God Box.
Let's make some noise for Dave Banner.
And K-Tone.
K-Tone, Chip.
K-Tone in the building.
Of course, Honeycomb coming through, rocking with us. We really appreciate it.
Bro, you ain't even say nothing. Say something.
Please, thank y'all.
Hold up, K-Tone, because usually
we.
we ask this question.
I got it.
I mean, flow.
What's the
107.1.
one piece of knowledge you would leave with the world right now? Just if K-Tone was out of here, what's the one piece of knowledge you would want to be your last quote?
Last quote.
And we don't put that on you all heavy, but
That is a good one.
that make you think. Go ahead, give it to us.
Nah, I don't know. You might have to edit this because it's taking me a minute.
All right, I have a question for you. Then we're gonna leave on this one. I have a question for you.
To be continued.
What changed about you when you started having children?
Ooh,
What changed about me?
Yeah.
Just my perception on life and what I was really doing it for. It just gave me a different outlook, man. Like, it's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? You know, my kids inspire me and motivate me. Like, waking up every morning and looking at them, like, knowing I'm not living for myself.
Right. You gotta get it. Right.
Got to get it.
Right.
You know? So it was bigger than me.
And really quick, I want to tell you, I asked him that because I learned from I don't have children yet. I made a conscious choice, like, that I had to go and get it first, and then I'm going to have a whole bunch of kids at once. But I learned from all y'all. Like, I watch how, man, I got a chance to hold his children and talk to his mom yesterday. And one of my friends told me, it's like, bro, once you have a child, as driven as you are, he was like, bro, that shit gonna be able to stop. Once you living for somebody else besides yourself,
you got no choice.
You know, and I even seen a change in you. You know, since you started having children, bro. And I was like, wow. I just want to make sure that I have it with the right person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I personally think we'll leave with this. I think the Trinity is God, man, and woman. I think that's what the real Trinity is. And I think we create God again through that Trinity. And if you don't have God, if you don't have the man or the woman, then there's some imbalance. And it's almost impossible to create that God figure without having the Trinity. You know what I'm saying? So if you have that higher calling and that spirit in your life, who is head of your life, or that's guiding you, and then you have a man and a woman. Because think about it. If you just have a woman in a lot of cases, then your kids are too soft. And if you have just a man raising the child, then they're stark raving maniacs and bullies and beating folks up. It's both of those spirits and that balance, you know, and then all encased in that spiritual being, whatever you think that is. And like I just watch him grow. And now I look up to him. And I look up to Edward, and I look up to my homeboy Bird and Andre and Karan, because they're men that have children. I don't have that. So to be honest with you, I'm watching their mistakes. I'm watching how they do their children and how they treat their children. And I'm like, yo, it's going to actually be easier for me if I can study them instead of just looking on. I really look at the way that y'all treat y'all children.
There still ain't no rule book to being a parent.
Yeah, but it's better at least studying and watching.
It might be.
You know what I'm saying?
That child might just be a little different, and you just still gonna have to come off your own manual. Oh man!
But hands-on
but you
training.
have good mentors.
But you have good mentors and you have good examples.
Yes.
I'd rather that than what we just say about being rich and depressed than being poor and depressed. You can be rich with knowledge and poor with knowledge. I'd rather have a whole lot of suggestions than to go in that bitch by myself.
And listen, if y'all are coming off of here and you are watching live or you do put this on anything, make sure you guys reach out to any local resources within your community. There's a lot of different places out there that are for the people, no matter if you white, black, Asian, whatever you are. There's resources out there for you. So if you are going through something, just look on the internet for your local mental health specialist or therapist. There's someone that can pay for it. There are resources out there. So just make sure that you reach out to something first before you decide to pull the trigger. That's all I got to ask, and I thank everybody.
We love y'all.
Hey, real quick, the God Box is out right now.
Oh boy, pay the bills then.
The God Box is out right now.
Get caught up and forget to sell something.
Hold on, let me see this for a second.
Yes, God Box.
Right there.
And the T-shirt.
And it's 100%. It's 100% independent.
Hey,
100% independent. Thank y'all. The God Box. Go pick it up right now.
Man.
Thank y'all. Oh, I have a Charlie.
Life is Zo podcast. I'm your man Graffiti.
and I'm Davey.
Hey, they made that easy for us, bro.
Hey, we out.
Skirt.